Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah, and excuse my looks, I just woke up. But I wanted to make this video last night, and I did not because I was too lazy. So, like I said, my name is Sarah, for those of you who don't know me. And normally I make videos about epilepsy and things like that. Or my VNS, which is vagus nerve stimulator, vagal nerve stimulation, or things like that. But there are other things that go along with epilepsy. There's things like anxiety, depression, there's tremors where your hands shake or something like that. There's a whole different, there's tons of side effects that go along with medications or just going through the hard times of all this. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, today I want to talk about anxiety, and I'll save the other ones for later. So anxiety. I was born with anxiety, but I didn't really think about it until later. But as a kid, I was so anxious, so terrified to do anything. Even when I was 4 years old, I went to preschool, but my mom, when she would drop me off, I would cry, and I got to the point where my mom couldn't even drop me off anymore. She had to have someone else drop me off because I would just cry and not let her leave. So luckily there was someone else who could drop me off. Now, so that was when I was 4 years old. When I hit 5 and 6 and I was in kindergarten, that didn't get much better. I would go to school and cry and not let my mom leave. And my teacher, she was so nice. She understood kind of what was happening. And she had this little system where if I didn't cry or anything, I would get rewards or something like that. And that did help a lot. I still got emotional sometimes because that was just how I was, but it did help to have rewards and stuff like that. So that was when I was 5 and 6. Now, when I got, or maybe first grade, 6 and 7, I was in, first grade, and the anxiety was still pretty bad. I didn't cry all the time because I was older, but my teacher, oh my gosh, I remember she was the sweetest lady. She would, there was this one time that Ronald McDonald came to the school, and we had an assembly, and all the kids were so excited, but I was freaked out, and I was so anxious, I was so scared. And so we were all sitting on the ground in the assembly hall and wherever we had assemblies, and I just started crying, and she saw me and she had me get up. We went out in the hall, I got a drink of water, I just sat with her, and I got better. So throughout my entire life, I'm not that old, but throughout my entire life so far, it's been full of anxiety. like I said, it didn't really manifest itself. Well, I didn't really think about it until I got older. Like, I knew I had it, but I didn't really think about it until it got worse. And that was when I was 13 and 14, and that was when I started having seizures. So my anxiety got even worse. I was constantly afraid of having seizures and having them in front of my friends or teachers or things like that. And we were still trying to control them. I was still having grand mal seizures. And it got crazy. So, as I got older, towards the end of high school, I kind of learned how to just cope with other people and learn how to deal with the people who would stare at me. And even though it is hard sometimes, I still have my bad days, don't get me wrong. But there's my cat. I have learned that my seizures are not going away. And although they are controlled to a certain point, I'm still playing around with them, and I'm still with doctors, and we're trying to figure out if I can be seizure free someday, which would be amazing. And so anxiety is not something that can necessarily go away as well. I am terrible at making videos. I cannot keep them focused on things. But my anxiety, I went to my just regular primary care doctor, and he put me on, trying to remember what it was called. He put me on an anti-anxiety medication. That did not work for me. It worked for everyone else in my family who had tried it, but it did not work for me. I was the black sheep in the family. It didn't work for me. So I went on another medication, which I'm on now, Prestige, which is working. And I tried going on a higher dose to see if it would help even more, but that just created more problems, and I had more anxiety from that. So I just went back to 50 milligrams, which I'm on now. So the thing is, anxiety doesn't go away. It can be kind of controlled a little bit, so it's not as bad. It's not as intense, but it's still there. And so it's a matter of dealing with it. And every once in a while, I used to get anxiety attacks all the time. And once I found the right medication, I only get them like once every so many months. And I still have anxiety. It hasn't gone away, but it has been controlled a little bit, like to the point where I'm able to function without having anxiety attacks. And the seizures they're still there. They still cause anxiety, but there's only so much you can do. But the thing is, there's still hope. There's still sorry, there's still something you can do about it. You can, like, normally I don't like saying medication is the answer, but sometimes you gotta try it. And so if you guys are experiencing a lot of anxiety, maybe go talk to a doctor and see if there's something you can do about it, whether you're, like, maybe if there's a medication you could try, because believe me, I hate being on medication, okay? I'm on Keppra, Lamictal, Oxtellar, acetazolamide, and I think that's it for the anti-seizures. And then I'm on progesterone and, Pristiq. I'm on 6 medications just for anxiety, and progesterone is a hormone. Anyway, I'm on a lot of medications, and so I understand that, I did not want to take another medication, but the thing is, I would rather take another medication than have anxiety attacks every week. So I highly recommend talking to your doctor. And I'm trying to figure out if there's anything else I want to say. I'm going to be making another video about tremors, and hopefully it won't be this long, but I can't seem to make short videos. So, let's see. I think I'm gonna cut it here. But if you guys want to talk or anything, feel free to email me, and yeah. All right, thanks.